The Whisperer in Dreams. In the ancient witch-haunted town of Arkham, where shadows linger longer than they ought and the air carries whispers of forgotten lore, Dr. Evelyn Harris found herself embroiled in a mystery as old as the cosmos itself. Her practice, a sanctum of reason amidst the creeping madness of the world, began to see an influx of cases that defied all logical explanation. Patients, drawn from all walks of life, spoke in hushed tones of a pervasive nightmare that visited them in the dead of night, a nightmare that whispered. It was on a particularly dreary afternoon, the kind where the sun seems but a distant memory, that Jonathan Crane, a man of reputable standing and scholarly demeanour, presented himself at Dr. Harris's door. His eyes, ringed with the telltale signs of countless sleepless nights, bespoke a terror unspoken. "Dr. Harris," he began, his voice a mere whisper, as if fearful of being overheard by unseen ears. "It's in my dreams, the Whisperer. It calls to me in a language I feel in my bones but cannot understand." Evelyn leaned forward, her countenance a mask of professional concern, yet within, her curiosity piqued. "Tell me more about this Whisperer. What form does it take in your dreams?" Crane shuddered, the memory clawing at his composure. "It is shadow and yet not, a presence that looms over me, suffocating, omnipresent. Its whispers are like the rustling of dead leaves in a forgotten tomb." The description struck a chord within Evelyn, resonating with an unease she had long suppressed in the name of science and rationality. As Crane continued, detailing the inexplicable dread and subsequent madness that the dreams wrought upon him, Evelyn's mind raced. This was not an isolated incident. The fabric of Arkham itself seemed to throb with a malignant pulse, a sinister undercurrent that whispered of ancient, eldritch horrors. Driven by a mixture of professional obligation and a deep, gnawing need for answers, Evelyn delved into the forbidden corners of Miskatonic University's library. Here, amidst tomes bound in skin not of this world and texts that seemed to scream in silence, she sought knowledge forbidden to mankind. "Dr. Armitage," she addressed the university's librarian, a man whose knowledge of the arcane was rivaled only by his discretion. "I seek the lore of the dreamlands, of entities that might breach the veil through the minds of the dreaming." Dr. Armitage, his countenance grave, led her to a section of the library that seemed to swallow light whole. "What you seek, Dr. Harris, treads the path of madness. Nyarlathotep, the crawling chaos, is not a name to be invoked lightly." The name Nyarlathotep, even spoken in the hushed tones of caution, sent a shiver down her spine. It was a name that echoed in the dark recesses of her mind, a key to the nightmare that held Arkham in its grip. Armed with this eldritch knowledge, Evelyn began to see the pattern of the nightmares anew. They were not mere figments of the mind. They were an invasion, a whisper from the void that sought to erode the barrier between dream and reality. Night after night, she ventured into the dreams of her patients, a silent observer in the realm of Nyarlathotep. With each journey, the boundary that separated her world from the whispers grew thinner, the presence of the crawling chaos ever more palpable. "I have seen the face of the abyss," she confessed to Dr. Armitage one twilight, the library cloaked in a silence that seemed almost sentient. "And it gazes also into me. We must find a way to shield Arkham from this creeping darkness." Yet, for all her efforts, the solution remained elusive, the whispers growing ever louder. It was in this time of despair that Evelyn's own dreams began to intertwine with those of her patients, a morass of nightmares, from which there seemed no awakening. The stage was set, the players assembled, and the curtain rose on a drama not of this earth, a cosmic horror that threatened to unravel the very fabric of reality. Evelyn Harris, once a mere spectator, found herself the linchpin in a battle that spanned the gulfs of space and time, a battle against an entity that whispered from the shadows, its voice a harbinger of doom. As the malign influence of the dreamscape began to seep into the waking world of Arkham, the very air tinged with an eldritch aura, Evelyn found herself standing on the precipice of the unknown. The once clear boundary between dream and reality blurred, as if the two were but thin veils, easily torn by the claws of the unseen. Within her sanctum of knowledge and reason, Evelyn pored over the ancient texts, her eyes tracing the arcane symbols and forbidden lore that spoke of Nyarlathotep, the crawling chaos, a being whose existence was as a thread woven through the fabric of the collective unconscious. It was in these moments of solitude, the weight of the world bearing down upon her, that she realized the gravity of her undertaking. The first of the strange occurrences manifested subtly, a shadow that lingered too long in the corner of one's eye, an inexplicable chill that danced upon the skin. But as the days passed, the town of Arkham fell further under the spell of the dream-induced madness. Reports of apparitions, of grotesque creatures that should not be, filled the air with a palpable terror. "It's as if the very earth beneath our feet has turned against us," confided Jonathan Crane, his voice a reflection of the chaos that now gripped his mind. "The dreams, they're bleeding into our reality, aren't they, Dr. Harris?" Evelyn, her resolve hardened by the escalating crisis, nodded gravely. "Yes, but there must be a way to stem the tide, to restore the barrier that keeps our worlds apart." Her experimentation with dream manipulation, a desperate attempt to combat the influence of Nyarlathotep, yielded unforeseen consequences. Each incursion into the dreamscape, each alteration made in the hope of protection, seemed only to further erode the division between the waking world and the realm of nightmares. In her office, now a command centre for her forays into the unknown, Evelyn sat across from Dr. Armitage, the air between them charged with the electricity of forbidden knowledge. "The dreams, they've become gateways," she posited, her voice tinged with a dread realization. "Gateways through which Nyarlathotep seeks to enter our world." Dr. Armitage, his face etched with the lines of countless sleepless nights, leaned forward. "And every attempt to close these gateways only serves to widen them further. Nyarlathotep's influence grows stronger with each passing night. The denizens of Arkham, once skeptical of the tales that whispered through the corridors of Miskatonic University, now found themselves living in a waking nightmare. The fabric of reality itself seemed to warp and weft under the strain of the cosmic horror that sought entry into their world. In a moment of clarity, born from the depths of despair, Evelyn conceived a plan. A final confrontation within the dreamscape, a battleground where the fate of Arkham would be decided. With Dr. Armitage's reluctant blessing, she prepared to face Nyarlathotep in a realm where the rules of physics and reality held no sway. As the boundary between the worlds grew ever thinner, Evelyn entered the dreamscape for what she knew might be the last time. The realm of Nyarlathotep was a landscape of chaos, a place where the sky boiled with the colours of insanity and the ground pulsed with the heartbeat of the abyss. "Evelyn Harris," intoned a voice that was not a voice, a whisper that echoed from the very ether. "You seek to challenge the crawling chaos, to protect your insignificant speck of reality from the inevitable." "I seek to protect my world from your madness," Evelyn retorted, her voice steady despite the roiling fear that threatened to consume her. "Arkham, humanity, deserves a chance to forge its own destiny, free from your influence. A laugh, if such a sound could be ascribed to the disembodied voice, filled the dreamscape, a cacophony that threatened to unravel Evelyn's mind. "Foolish mortal, do you not see? I am but a reflection of the chaos that lies within the heart of all beings. You cannot defeat me, for to do so would be to deny the very essence of humanity." The confrontation, a battle of wills fought in the realm of dreams. Regedon, the outcome uncertain. Evelyn, armed with the knowledge of the ancients and the resolve born of desperation, stood firm against the onslaught of the crawling chaos. As the dreamscape trembled under the force of their conflict, Evelyn realized the truth of Nyarlathotep's words. The entity was not an invader from beyond, but a manifestation of the darkest depths of the human psyche. To defeat Nyarlathotep would be to alter the very foundation of humanity itself. In the heart of the dreamscape, where the laws of the cosmos twisted into unfathomable shapes, Evelyn stood before Nyarlathotep, the embodiment of cosmic malevolence. Her mind, a fortress besieged by the dread onslaught of the crawling chaos, wavered on the brink of despair. The sky above was a tempest of unspeakable colours, a maelstrom of madness that defied the bounds of human understanding. "You cannot hope to prevail," Nyarlathotep's voices, legion and singular, boomed from the ether. "I am the shadow in every heart, the whisper in every mind. To fight me is to fight the very essence of existence itself." Evelyn, her resolve hardened by the trials she had endured, met the gaze of the entity, her voice a beacon of defiance in the oppressive gloom. "Perhaps," she conceded, her words cutting through the din of the chaotic void, "but in understanding you, I have discovered the strength of humanity, our capacity for hope, for love, despite the darkness. It is a power you cannot comprehend, a force as boundless as the universe itself." The entity paused, as if contemplating her words, the maelstrom momentarily stilling. "And what would you propose, Dr. Harris?" it inquired, a hint of curiosity colouring its tone. Evelyn drew a deep, steadying breath, the weight of her decision anchoring her to the spot. "Emerging," she declared, her voice steady. "Take me as your guardian, a bridge between the chaos and order. With my consciousness, I can temper your influence, protect the world from the madness that seeks to engulf it." A silence, profound and unsettling, fell upon the dreamscape. Then slowly, a laughter, not cruel but contemplative, echoed through the void. "A novel proposition, Dr. Harris. Very well, let us become the whisper at the edge of dreams, the guardian of the threshold. Together, we shall tread the fine line between madness and sanity, chaos and order." And so it was that Evelyn Harris, psychiatrist of Arkham, willingly merged her essence with Nyarlathotep. The dreamscape around her shimmered, reality warping as the two consciousnesses intertwined. The chaos that had threatened to spill forth into the world receded, contained by the newly formed guardian of the threshold. In the waking world, the shadows that had lingered in the corners of Arkham's consciousness began to dissipate. The air cleared of the oppressive dread that had choked the town. The residents, once tormented by nightmares and visions of eldritch horrors, found peace in their sleep, unaware of the sacrifice made on their behalf. Jonathan Crane, standing before the gates of Miskatonic University, gazed up at the stars, a sense of wonder filling him. "It's over, isn't it?" he murmured to Dr. Armitage, who stood beside him, his eyes reflecting the celestial light. Dr. Armitage nodded, a solemn expression on his face. "Yes, but at a cost. Evelyn Harris has become something else. She is both here and not, a guardian between our world and the chaos beyond." The town of Arkham moved on, the scars of the recent past slowly healing. But in the quiet moments before sleep claimed them, some could hear a whisper, a gentle reminder of the eternal vigil being kept. Evelyn Harris, once a denizen of their world, now stood sentinel over their dreams, a bulwark against the darkness. And in the vast, unknowable expanse of the dreamscape, Evelyn, now more than human, watched over humanity with a bittersweet sorrow. She had become the eternal whisperer, the voice that cautioned against the allure of the abyss, ensuring that the delicate balance between reality and nightmare remained undisturbed. Her sacrifice, a testament to the strength of the human spirit, ensured that Arkham, and indeed the world, would never fully succumb to the madness that lay just beyond the veil of reality. In this act of selfless guardianship, she had become both a legend and a warning, a symbol of the eternal struggle against the forces that seek to unravel the fabric of existence itself.